Hey everybody, Dominic here again. Today I am going to show you some modifications I made to my Lego freight train number 60052. Here is the locomotive as provided to you by Lego. It's a model of a North American GP style locomotive. Like a GP38, GP40, something along those lines. It's a North American style locomotive. Now, Lego, as you all know, is not a North American company. They didn't do a bad job on this, but there's a couple of things that I can improve upon. One thing I wish they would have done, I wish they'd have put in a North American style coupler on the front that did not have the buffers. I understand that would have been making a whole new piece, but for us North American train enthusiasts, it would be a nice piece to have without, cutting off the buffers and modifying this one. It's a minor gripe, really, nothing major. I can handle the buffers, but just saying it would be nice if we could get the coupler piece. I like the snowplow. The snowplow looks really good, but I would like to get them without the buffers. That being said, this is a North American locomotive, but there is no North American locomotives that have these extended radiator grills in the back. This doesn't look right. The other thing I don't like is this giant hole in the top. You can see all the way through. You can see my finger back here. That's like, come on, Lego, what are you thinking? I mean, I don't get it. Simple as that. The other gripe I have, there ain't a single North American locomotive where the driver or the engineer sits in the middle. He always sits off to the side. So we're going to fix all this. I've already done it to one of my locomotives. I've moved the engineer over to the right hand side, which is in a North American locomotive. They are all on the right hand side. I have also filled this hole in and still made it easy to get the battery in, the battery box in and out. I take off one extra piece. One extra piece, really. And then I've moved these radiator grills to the center and up so they look like a dynamic brake radiator. Now, for those of you who don't know, I'm not sure if European locomotives have dynamic brakes. I'm pretty sure they do. It's a pretty simple concept of you taking the electric motors and turning them into generators and help slow the train down by dissipating that energy through a bunch of giant resistors. And with that, there's a couple of fans in the top. Now Lego has modeled the fans here. So there's a fan here that would be normally for the dynamic brake, but there is no dynamic brake. These two fans would be for the motor, for cooling the engine, and the electronics package that are normally in the back of the locomotive here. So that being said, let's see what I did here. Here's the locomotive. Now, unfortunately, I couldn't fill in these little grooves right here. There's just no piece that really fits in there. Sorry. But now my locomotive has dynamic brakes. Yeah, they don't work, for real, but they look like a dynamic brake housing. Also, my engineer, he's sitting now off to the side and the right. It's not a problem to do that. There's plenty of room in there. You just move the seat over one. So now my engineer is sitting where an engineer should sit. And I don't have a big hole in the top anymore. Now I'm going to take the tops off both my locomotives here, and I'm going to show you exactly what I did to change that. It was really simple. It takes a couple of pieces that most of y'all have already sitting in your box. So let's begin. Alright, here we have both the locomotives sitting side by side. They're both pretty good looking locomotives. If you will notice, I have a red dot on this locomotive and I have a blue dot on that locomotive. The reason being is, once again, if you guys seen my passenger train video, you'll understand. This one here has a blue channel and a red channel. Both of these locomotives can be controlled by the same controller. And I have a blue dot to designate the one on the blue channel, and I have a red dot designating the one on the red channel. It's really simple to put your locomotive on either channel. There is a red dash or a blue dash on the receiver where you plug the battery cable into, or the motor cable into, excuse me. And that's all you have to do. Plug it into the red controls it. Plug it into the blue controls it. Easy peasy. So, now to address this problem here we have with this rather large hole that I can stick my finger in compared to no finger going in, we need to take the top off the locomotive. Now you have to do this when you change the battery. It's the same process on both locomotives. So, let's just pop the top off there, and looks like I lost one of the fans inside the locomotive. There we go. Okay, now you'll see this one's kit stock, and you'll see this little slope piece right here. All you have to do for my modification, remove the slope piece. While you're in here, if you want your engineer to be on the right hand side, simply move the chair over to the right hand side. There's enough room for his arm because of the door, so go ahead and move him over if you want to. Now I don't have the pieces yet for converting this locomotive over to a to the no gap. They're on their way. I just don't have them at the moment. But you know, I'll show you what the part I built on this locomotive. So again, take the roof off. Just pretty simple. You take the little switch lever off with you. For mine, the fans always come off on mine. I don't know if you guys have the same problem, but I just stick the fans back on. You know, no big deal. Okay. Now what I've done is I used a 1x3 or 2x3 by plate, and then two 2x2 plates, and then I used another 2x2 plate, and then I didn't have one 2x2 without studs piece, so I just used two 1x2s, and then they sit together just like this, stepped out a little bit like that, and you just put this right where the that slope piece we took off earlier goes. Put it in right there, and what you get is a very well made, simple, easy to use part. There's enough room for the wire to come up through here. You're not pinching the wire. You're not going to be able to stick your finger or anything else down there. It just completes the look of the locomotive. Now I'm going to get a 2x2 piece here. It was supposed to be in the mail yesterday, and it's still not here. No big deal. I'll just change it when I get to it, but you guys get the idea. Now for the dynamic brakes right up here, it was pretty simple. In fact, I'll do it on the other one. It takes no extra pieces. All it takes is, you got the in kit form here, just take off the sides, take off the other side, and switch them around. That's it. Switch it to the other side. Now the grills are in the center of the locomotive where dynamic brake would be, and if you want to raise them up so it looks more prototypical, which is like the original, just take them off and lift them up one, and now your locomotive has dynamic brakes. Easy peasy. Here again, once again the fans come off. No big deal. Just stick them back down on there. There you go. I'll make that piece here. My parts should be in the mail in any couple of days. I don't believe I didn't have any of these in my box. I didn't. No big deal. They're coming. So when you have to change the battery, instead of, you just have to simply take off one more piece, and the battery tray comes out. I also don't keep tightening up the screws. There's no need to. It's just an extra step. It makes it a little bit harder to change the batteries out. And really, the battery box is buried inside the locomotive. There's no reason why you need to change the screws. Let's just put the batteries in. And I keep knocking off the side shell of this locomotive. Put that back in there. Put this piece here on. The roof on like normal. Put the switch back in. And there you go. Much better looking locomotive. Alright, everybody, thank you for watching. Please comment, like, and subscribe below. If you have any ideas that will help me make my locomotives even better, please put it in the comments and I'll see what I can do. If you like what I did, please let me know. It encourages me to make more and keep it up. So, like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more.